Okay, so there's some problem with the recording, and so I did not record, or was not able to record this, but this is the finished Kalanchoe, and this was the original sketch that I made, and this was supposed to be this one as well. And so, but the Winsor & Newton is a dud. So this one, I think I'm going to make a bigger painting of this, because I cannot work with a small painting such as this one. I'm having a hard time with it. So this was the first one I did, and this is the second one. I'm going to make another one of this Kalanchoe, because this Kalanchoe succulent has so many different variations, and right now I only have 3 Kalanchoe succulents in my garden. So this is an Aeonium, and I am using Sennelier watercolor paints, using the red, the orange, the lilac, and I think it's supposed to be the purple in the set. I couldn't find my swatch card. I should have attached it onto the top of the palette set, like what I did with the Daniel Smith. But I totally forgot about it. That's why I'm not doing large swatches of paints anymore. I'm just going to put it in tiny dot cards, sort of, so I won't misplace them again. So I'm going to rework this painting again on a different paper. This paper is okay, even if it's only 230 GSM, and this is from, it doesn't have a brand, it's watercolor paper, and it's a larger size paper that you can cut. It's an 8K 20 sheets paper. This is it, and so I'm thinking of doing it again and making tiny paintings. Oh no, not tiny, a bigger scale succulent painting. So that's that, because I like this, and I am liking this, but this one I do not like. I am also going to limit the palette, not like this where it's so busy. I use so many different colors. I'm just going to limit into 3 or 4 colors, because I think it also looks good on paper. So that's that. Again, let me just show you what I did with this. Unfortunately, the one that I was working in with, well, did not record, so it's too bad, but I think you get the picture. Just wet the paper. Let me see. Well, unfortunately, again, none of the larger petals haven't been painted yet. So this is at the bottom, or under the top leaf or petals. So this is supposed to be darker. And I cannot see if it's wet enough because of the glare in the lamp. I'll pick up the purple and the red at the same time, and that's the color that you get. It's a beautiful, slightly purple reddish color. And again, this is supposed to be an Aeonium. And while that's wet, clean my brush and drop in a yellow at the top. Clean my brush and grab a tissue paper, and I don't want this. I want some of the white of the paper to show through like that. I'll pick up again some yellow because I think the paintbrush is too wet with paper. I want a much darker yellow here, like so. Okay, so I am also using my 6 and number 4 round brush. Still have yellow on the paintbrush, and I'm going to dab it in. I'll add a little bit there, a little bit here. Okay, so again, let's do another petal. Maybe this one at the back, at the bottom. So recommendations, I'm not a professional, but right now, if I'm a beginner and I'm going to buy and start with watercolors, I suggest, and this is just a suggestion, to grab one of those. Well, set a price range for yourself, and I think getting nothing less than 1,000 pesos if you live in the Philippines, and yeah, nothing less than 1,000 pesos. Or no, wait, 600, because Kuretake, I heard, is a good paint, and it's 880, and there are some that sells for 750, and that's a complete 12 color set. My eyes are on this set, and I saw it last night. Kuretake, it's 1,500, but it's 48 set, and it doesn't have white and black. Yahoo! If it doesn't have white and black and it's a complete palette set, then I am all for it. Yeah, because Marie's paint is good, and that's what I had. I didn't. My first beginner's paints were Lucas 1862 and the Grumbacher Academy, but they're very expensive if you're a beginner, and yeah, they're quite expensive these days. 2024 price. So let me just rinse my brush. Yeah, because if you buy one of those $10 paint sets, most likely, I don't know, I just have the feeling that it's not going to give you the truest, most honest painting experience. Because I had fun working with the 3 paints that I had when I was a beginner, and they're still here, and that was 1994. And although some of the Marie paint tubes hardened, the Grumbacher and the Lucas paint are still alive. The Lucas paints, I had a problem opening the cap, so I had to soak it in water. Some of it I opened from the bottom of the paint tube. So I think that's what I'm going to do if I'm a beginner. Knowing what I know now, don't waste your money on a 400, 500 peso paint. Just save up some more, a little bit more. Save a little bit more. And grab maybe a kuretake. the Maurice. Maurice has a very nice transparent beginners student set. I hate opaque paints, and so I have 3 opaque watercolor sets that I am not going to use again, unless maybe I find someone to give it to. I will just give them away. I think I've given 2 sets already, and so I could have used that money to buy 3 tubes of M-gram or a Daniel Smith quinacridone rose paint tube, schminka as well. So that is my game plan today. I'm just going to be very, very picky when it comes to buying paint sets. But I like the Kuretake. I'm liking it. And the Paul Rubens. I don't have a Paul Rubens yet. So, but I will not. I'm gonna stay away from the student grade for now while I practice. Not that I'm very good at it just yet, but that's why I'm practicing again. I'm going to do this beautiful paint from Sennelier. It's so good. I love it. If I have extra money, I'm going to, if I run out of paints, Sennelier paints, then will I buy it again? Definitely. I will buy it again. Just glazing it, trying not to overwork it. I learned my lesson. I added a little bit of red, and I think that's it. I'm not going to add any more color to that. Maybe a drop of the orange right there, and a little bit over there. Let's do another one. This is a little chalky because I used too much paint, so I'm gonna lift some of it. The only thing I don't like with my Sennelier set is the red. I'm not liking the red at all. I don't know why, because that's one of the most important color in the palette set. right? Because look, what I have, this is supposed to be the red, and look, has some orange to it, and this is the orange. See, it almost looks the same. And that's the only thing that is well, I find negative about this paint set, and which goes me back to my issue with buying paint sets, because you don't know what you're getting. You don't know what you're getting. Unlike when you pick a paint tube, or yeah, from a list of sets that these vendors are selling, you can pick exactly the paint or the pigment that you like. Okay, that's ruining the paper. But that's basically how I'm going to work on this painting. I'm just going to wet the paper and apply either the purple and the red, probably less of the orange, because the orange is maybe just a little of the orange. But I like the way the paint travels to the paper. Look, when you wet it, when you do wet on wet, So I didn't rinse the brush. I still have that pigment in the brush and I don't want to waste it. This is very expensive paint. So see, I just want a hint of that lilac there, or purple. Sorry, I lost the swatch card somewhere around here, my stash, but I don't know the name of this pigment at all. But it's pretty, and so it doesn't really matter. Let's do this. I'm going to do that Aeonium again, and definitely this one. I cannot see if the water, I think there's too much water, so I'm going to pick up some of that water. So again, going back to what watercolor to buy. Yeah, don't. Oh, that is beautiful. Nice. Don't go stingy on the watercolor paint, your first watercolor paint, although most of us did buy when we were students. We bought the cheapest that we can find, thinking that must be a very good watercolor paint set. I'm sure all of us have tried Prang. Nothing bad to say about it, because if you're a beginner, that's where we all start, with the Prang and the Marie watercolor, the guitar. Yeah. But if you're a retiree and a hobbyist, I suggest you get one of those medium range price intermediate watercolor paints, just so you can enjoy the whole shebang of what makes this such a really glorious experience. But if you're into opaque paints, go ahead. I'm gonna rinse my brush now. We'll pick up some of that color. No, the water. I don't want it to travel to the edge. I wish I can do loose watercolor paints and landscape. I don't know how to do landscapes. I tried, but turns out to this one huge mess of a paper. While that's wet, I'm gonna pick some yellow and dab it right there. What else? Here. Oops, this one is too big. So again, this is Sennelier I'm working with. I'll pick up the purple and the red. It's supposed to be red. I want this darker. I'm rinsing the brush a little bit, taking some of the paint, but not totally rinsing it because I want to, there. Pick up some of that, clear that up. Hope I'm not making this complicated. It looks like it, but this is how I work and this is how I learn. Because if you rush it, something bad is always gonna happen to the painting. I am going to drop in, let's see what happens if we put a little bit of blue. What will happen? Oops. Oh, that's nice. I don't know. Yeah, I think just a little bit of that blue there pops out. We'll see. Once it dries out, you'll get to see the real picture. Picking up some of that paint. I like what is happening here, and so I'm gonna finish it. Basically, we see what I do. I'm just laying down the colors, slowly, gradually building it up with washes. I think 3, 4 washes is going to be enough. Using 4 now plus 1 blue color, the yellow, the orange, the red, and that purple plus the blue.